Hello everybody, GibsMac here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Evolve Open Beta and my first impressions on it. Now, the Evolve Open Beta just launched, and you can download it for free on Xbox One, on PS4, and on PC. I don't know if you can get it on Xbox 360 or PS3. It is an open beta, and it is free, and it is actually pretty cool. Now, if you don't know what Evolve is, it's basically a game where there's 4 hunters versus 1 monster, and it's made by Turtle Rock Studios, some of the same people that made Left 4 Dead. So it's actually a pretty cool game, and it's actually a pretty cool idea where a monster can kill animals, evolve into at least 3 stages. So they'll go from stage 1 whenever they start out to stage 2, and then stage 3 where they'll be very powerful. And then you have 4 hunters, all with unique classes. You have the assault person, you have the medic, you have the support, and you have the trapper. And in my opinion, it's actually a pretty cool game. Now, first off, the graphics, in my opinion, aren't amazing. You're not going to be absolutely blown away by the graphics, but it is on the CryEngine, so, you know, which the CryEngine is kind of known for amazing graphics with the Crysis games, but the graphics aren't terrible. They actually look pretty good. Now, this is the open beta, and these are my first impressions, and I haven't played too much of the game so far. I'm about level 7 as of making this video, so I don't know everything about the game, and this will mostly be about the game mode Hunt, or the Skirmish game mode, and where it's basically each time there's a different hunter, there's a different monster. So it's just, you know, whoever wins that match, then that match is over. There is also evacuation, which is something very different than what I'll be talking about, and I'll probably talk about that later. And I'll talk about that later on because it is actually pretty interesting. But if you do want to download the Evolve Open Beta, you can get it on Xbox One. It's free. It is. You just have to download it. It does take a while to download, but once you download, you can just start it up. I'm pretty sure it's about the same for PS4 and on PC. Now, there is actually a single player mode, and I don't really like the single player mode. It's not as fun to play against AI, where they may or may not have the best AI, and they may not attack you most of the time or help you out if you're the hunters. So I don't really like the single player. Now, it could be fun with co-op. A single player, which I believe there is that, but I haven't played that. So now for multiplayer, which is probably the big part of the game, is actually pretty fun. I was not expecting it to be that great of a game. Of course, this is the open beta. You know, like I said, I'm only about level 7, and I haven't played this really with friends. I have met a few people in game chat and stuff, and we've, you know, kind of made tactics and stuff, but I haven't went in with 4 friends, so I guess I haven't done that, which I guess would make the game even way better than it is now. Now, there are a few things I don't like about this game, and this may be just because there is an open beta and I haven't explored everything about the game, but one, I don't really like the maps. The maps are okay, but they really feel like the same each time. I believe the planet that you're on is called Sheer, which I guess would make sense, that Sheer has these kind of rock formations, and it's mostly dark. But I would have liked to see maybe some snowy maps, or maybe some desert maps, because a lot of the maps are basically the same thing. It just feels like all the maps are the same, and you're playing on the same maps each time. You know, you have like these rock formations, you have a few caves that you can go into, you have some water, but it's mostly like this jungle map. And while I feel like the maps aren't terrible, they do feel repetitive after a while. Another thing I don't like about the open beta is that there isn't much customization. Of course, you can customize like your badge and stuff, but it doesn't really have too much customization for your character. Basically, the way the level up goes is that since there's the 4 classes, you have the assault class, which deals heavy damage to the monster. Well, if you level up all your assault class for Markov, who's like the first person that you play as, he has like an assault rifle and a laser gun and like some mines and stuff. If you level up him, then you get a new guy, and you know that new guy may have different weapons, but it's weird how you can't customize like what weapons Markov has. You know, why can't you customize what assault rifle he has? Why can't you customize what laser weapon he has, or even for medic, why can't you customize the sniper rifle that Val has? She has this sniper rifle, which once you hit an enemy with it, it does damage, but once you hit an enemy with it, basically every shot that goes towards it actually does more damage. Just something about the customization, it just feels lacking, and I really would like to see a bit more customization to add to the longevity of the game. Another thing I don't really like is the hipfire. It doesn't seem like there's really an incentive to aim down sights. This is coming from some of the people that have made Left 4 Dead, which if you've ever played Left 4 Dead, then you know that hipfire in that game is basically the only thing you can do. You can't aim down sights in that game unless you have like a sniper or something. And a hipfire in that game is very accurate. I feel like in this game the hipfire is very accurate. Maybe that's to make the game feel more fast-paced. I just don't really know why. Another thing is that the crosshairs aren't that amazing. Now I don't know how the hit markers work. Like, you know, in a game like Call of Duty or Battlefield, whenever you hit an enemy, you get like this X that pops on your screen to then you know that you did hit an enemy. In Evolve, every time you shoot, you get like this little X, and it's hard to know if you actually hit something. One final thing I don't really like, and this isn't really gameplay oriented, is I don't really like the options menu. There isn't too many options. Basically, you can change your brightness, you can change a few options like your controls, but you can't even customize your controller settings all too much. It's like just these 5 presets. They don't even change all too much. I wish that there would be more options. Maybe that is because of beta and they haven't added all the options into the beta. But I would like to see a few more options, and hopefully on PC, because I know PC, you have games that have tons of options on PC because everybody's PC is different. So hopefully on PC you can actually fully keybind and bind your keys to whatever you want and stuff like that. Also, the HUD isn't that great. It is kind of confusing at first, but I feel like once you get used to it, it's not all that bad. But overall, I think this game is actually pretty fun, and I feel like making more videos on it, more in depth, and a few tips and stuff for new players, because it is actually kind of confusing at first. It does throw you into like this tutorial on how to play, but it's kind of confusing unless you like spend the time to watch all the tutorial videos, and it is kind of hard at first because it is like a game that you haven't really played before. You know, it's like a game with a new idea and a new concept. The only problem is that concept could get boring after a while. Now, personally, I actually really like this game. It's not really boring to me, but I feel like a lot of people will get bored of the concept if they don't add new game modes, which there was only basically 2 game modes that were very similar, which there weren't too many game modes, at least from what I've seen. But this is the open beta, and I want to get your thoughts on this. If you have played Evolve, if you haven't played Evolve, then go download it. It's free. If you don't like it, then that's cool. I personally like it. I do think that there could be a few changes. Now, it does come out on February 10th, 2015. So, if you do like the beta, then let me know in the comments. And if there are any things you don't like, then let me know in the comments as well. Or you could also try and contact the developers of this game, Turtle Rock Studios. Hope you enjoy. Feedback is always appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next video.